Hi friends, I'm Megan and I go by Solar Glow Meditations. Tonight we're going to have a Crystals 101 session. So how I use crystals, how I charge them, all the things I have to share about crystals. Before we get into it, it would help me greatly if you could hit subscribe. I really appreciate it and thank you for being here. Um, so the first thing you need to know about crystals is there are tons of them. Um, I can do a little bit of a show and tell. I have a whole bunch right in front of me. And some of my favorite forms are going to be bracelets. I have lots and lots of them, as well as just kind of palm stones and just raw forms of it. I wear lots of necklaces with different kinds of crystals. I have a couple on, in fact, and they come in all sorts of forms. So I have my kind of finer jewelry, so like an emerald, diamonds, and I have kind of my more raw forms of jewelry, like this moldavite or this clear quartz or rose quartz. So when you're starting to work with crystals, you're probably going to want to get some to begin with. Uh, there's going to be a few that I recommend as really great basic crystals that you're going to be able to find really easily most places that you go. They're not too expensive for the most part, and they're really great to just kind of start getting your hands into the kind of crystal world, if you will. Um, if you want, I will add some affiliate links down below. You're welcome to use those if you like, but I also highly recommend you check out your local crystal shop if you happen to have a metaphysical store or crystal store close to you. So I guess, actually, even before I get into the ones I recommend, you're going to want to, as you're starting to select the crystals that you actually do want to pick up, just kind of pick them up and start to notice what you notice about them. So I like to just kind of see how they feel. Are they heavy? Are they light? I have this piece of jet here that is very, very light compared to a selenite. They're not quite the same size, but you can kind of tell that one's a little bit denser than the other. Or where you have like a piece of malachite that is really, really dense. Um, all of those things are going to translate into metaphysical properties. Selenite is one of the very, very common crystals. I don't know if you can kind of see, but it comes in squares usually because it's kind of this striated form. And this one is a really, really great cleanser crystal. It really helps align and center, and that kind of goes with the structure of the crystal itself. It's very organized in this kind of up and down structure. And so that in itself helps kind of let things go, helps cleanse things. Malachite, on the other hand, being a very dense and heavy stone for its size, as well as kind of the color of this. So malachite's kind of green, so you kind of think of like a calming, relaxing vibe, but that coupled with the fact that it's very dense kind of brings you back down into your body, calms you down, and is very kind of a soothing stone. Whereas the selenite, on the other hand, is kind of clear, pure, white, cleansing. um, what's another good example? Things like amethyst are very common, templed amethyst. This one is also quite calming. You kind of go with color schemes a little bit. So your purples, your blues, your greens are all going to be very calming, very cooling usually. When you get into things like deeper, darker colors, you've got things like tiger's eye or obsidian or smoky quartz. These are all going to be darker, so that I tend to think of them more as like earth bones or stones. So they're going to help you kind of ground down into the earth more. And then we get into things like howlite. It's very white. It does have these kind of cool gray lines throughout it, and this one really aligns well with your crown chakra. So I think this is kind of like an etheric stone, something kind of from the cosmos. This stone can help you lift out of your body if you're into out of body experiences, things like that. But it also just really connects you really well to your crown chakra. If you are familiar with the chakra system, each of the colors aligns very well with the stones. So one of the first kits I got from one of my family members, she actually owns a crystal store up in New York, Tincture in Time, in case you guys want to check it out. But it has, see if you can read that, stones that are aligned with all of your chakras. So things like, does it have red tiger's eye is going to be aligned with your root chakra. It goes into orange carnelian up into your sacral chakra, and then yellow adventurine for your solar plexus chakra, and then green into your heart, blue into your throat, amethyst into your third eye, and the white howlite into your crown chakra. So colors can align that way. These systems are kind of put in place because they work and are kind of easy things to remember. As far as kind of learning about the stones, Google is going to be your best friend. You can start to listen to folks like me as I talk about them on a day-to-day basis. That's one of the ways that I really helped learn or learned about them, is just hearing what people say in kind of a day-to-day conversation over and over again. So talking through it. But I do recommend this Book of Stones. It's a pretty thick book. I don't know how many pages is it, probably like 1,000, by Robert Simmons. I will link this in the description box below. But Robert Simmons actually owns a crystal shop, and they've been doing this for, gosh, probably 40 years at this point. And he just has tons and tons of information about the stones in this book, but then also he has a website, Heaven and Earth Jewelry, where they sell a lot of these stones and then go into some of the medical physical properties on a kind of on a more basic level, versus kind of the description of some of these can be quite long. So yeah, I will link that down below. So as far as crystal care goes, folks will often talk about charging their crystals. You can do this under a full moon or a new moon. You can do it in the sunlight. You can do it on selenite. Selenite's a great cleanser, even for the crystals. You can put some of them in water. Don't put malachite in water. It's not good. It will dissolve. And some folks will also talk about drinking crystal water. Don't drink malachite crystal water. It'll make you really sick. So unless you know that a specific stone is safe, I don't recommend doing that, but that is one way that folks can do that. If you know that it is safe, you can cleanse crystals in water as well. There are certain moons that are better for cleansing than others. I don't know a lot about all of the different moons. I follow other folks that are more expert on that and follow what their advice is, saying, hey, this is a great moon to charge your crystals versus this is not. So yeah, and then one of the other ways to just charge them is just by using them. Sometimes your energy can be exchanged with the stone as you kind of use it. Be sure to always call back your own energy and hold on to your own energy. You don't necessarily want to like give your energy to a rock and then not have it for yourself. So yeah, I think that's kind of the charging aspects of it. And that being said, part of the crystal actually having a charge and kind of a feeling to it is the fact that it has this particular crystalline structure and was formed in a specific way. So the history of the rock is going to hold on to a lot more energy than you using it for like a Reiki session or just to meditate with, or however you decide to use it. Even just having it in your home, I'm not necessarily going to be charging my selenite lamp or my salt lamp. They have a lot of that energy already in them. So let's see what else. One of the other ways, I guess, I suppose I recommend getting to kind of know your crystals is meditating with them. I personally am a feeler, so if a crystal is particularly charged and is not something I have encountered before, I will touch it and I will get a feeling immediately. This piece of jet that I just got about a week and a half ago, I just brushed the side of the package. It was in the little piece of plastic that it came in, and I immediately felt this. I bought this crystal in my pursuit of astral projection and kind of out of body experiences, and this one is supposed to really help give you the energy to get out of your body should you need to. It's also a really great pair with moldavite. Moldavite you will hear a lot of, especially if you're around social media. Um, it's it's a tektite, which as you read through like books like the Book of Stones or just reading on Google or hearing people talk about them, tektites are known as transformation crystals. I think it has to do with their structure. I'm not exactly sure, but moldavite happens to be a very particular kind of tektite that is kind of rare now because it's become so popular in recent years, but it's known for rapid transformation and eliminating things that are negative from your life. So if you have a significant other that's really bad to you, they're going to be gone if you have a piece of moldavite and wear it for any sort of extended period of time. Jet is a really nice pair with moldavite because this helps give you life force energy, chi. I think they call it Shakati or something like that in the Book of Stones. But this is actually going to help offset some of the negatives from moldavite and help smooth out that process of transformation without being so abrupt and sudden. I've been wearing moldavite here for, gosh, 6 months now. So I'm kind of used to how this feels all the time, and it feels a little weird if I don't wear it. So the jet was an interesting kind of add to the moldavite. One of the ways in particular I use crystals a lot is I will pick a bracelet to wear to bed, and I use these to kind of enhance my dreams and kind of navigate where I want my dreams to go. So in my attempt to also become a lucid dreamer, which is something I've been working on for quite a while, Lapis Lazuli, I just learned how this was pronounced. Lazuli is kind of how it looks. Is known as one of the stones of, I guess, like Egyptian gods and priests and priestesses would wear this in like their jewelry on their crown. It's very much tied to your third eye chakra. It's very magical. It's supposed to help you connect with the other side if that's something you're so interested in. So in my attempt to better connect with the world of spirit, I wear this one quite frequently. I love tiger's eye. Tiger's eye, I have these two bracelets. These are my favorite. I will wear these most nights. They're great protection. They're pretty magical. I really resonate with them, and they're so, so, so good for me. That being said, some crystals will sit with you better than they sit with other people, and they're going to potentially do different things for you depending on where you're at in your journey, and what you need, what your experiences are, things like that. So a lot of these generalizations are just to help kind of guide you, and they're good to start to understand the feedback that you're getting from the crystals as you kind of work with them. But by no means is this going to be universally true for everybody. When I talk about this being my favorite, it might be somebody else's least favorite, or it might do different things that they don't necessarily like. And one example for that for me is Iite. I have these two bracelets. I can't remember. Iite is also supposed to be quite a magical kind of psychic ability enhancer. I have worn these so many times, and all it does is drag me down into these really negative dreams, and it's really, I think, helping me move through negative energy. But if you read any of the books, that's not at all what this is supposed to do. It's supposed to be a very high vibe stone that brings you to really great places, but in my dreams it's always taken me down to kind of lower astral realms that I don't necessarily like being in. So I tend to not wear these as much anymore because I've done this enough times with these that I just am not a fan. Yeah, things like pyrite. Pyrite is another very common crystal that you'll encounter quite a bit. If I wear this to bed, I am up all night. This one is so full of energy. It's a very masculine energy. It's very buzzy. I've heard folks talk about it like it's caffeine, and it really is. It is so, so, so buzzy. So I tend to not wear this one very much either because I like to sleep and be dreaming and not waking up. Orange Carnelian, this is another fun one. This one is supposed to be kind of spicy, sexy, if you will. It's connected to your sacral chakra, so kind of where you're below your belly button, above your base of your spine, connected to your reproductive organs a lot of times. So it tends to, or it can be a crystal of action, which is also where your doing center is, if you will, reproduction. It can be spicy dreams, doesn't always lead to that for me. So some of the other common ones you're going to run into, rose quartz is really common, very affordable, great crystal, very loving, warm. It kind of wraps yourself in a warm blanket. I like this one a lot. It doesn't tend to create this super powerful energy for me, but it's very nice to have on. It's very pleasant. It's not a in-your-face kind of feeling for me. One of the ones, this is not as common, it's a little bit harder to come by, but it is one of my absolute favorites. Is second to tiger's eye. It's labradorite. This is very much a magical property crystal, and I don't know if you can see it in the camera. It's kind of got this iridescent shine to it. But this one is another one that if you're looking to activate psychic abilities, kind of start working with spirit, kind of up your meditation game a little bit, I would definitely recommend labradorite. Other things that are going to be common that you'll find, Sodalite is a very common one, blue Sodalite. This one is very much connected to your throat chakra. Anytime I pick this one up, it goes straight to my throat. It's really great for helping you communicate. Adventurines, I have both green and yellow. These are also very common. The color, of course, corresponding with your chakras and your bodies. Solar glow, yellow, solar plexus chakra. This one is kind of more connected to your heart, kind of this green color. They're nice crystals. Not another very in-your-face one, but a very nice, pleasant feeling. And I think the last couple I'm going to talk about are agates. Agate. Oops. So I have this tundra or moss agate. I can't remember what this one is. I think it's another one like that. These are also very kind of calming, relaxing, very nice, help calm you down crystals. And quartzes. I have a couple pieces of smoky quartz here. I have some clear quartz, rose quartz. Just depending on the color, that's kind of what it does. Things that are clear like this, like clear quartz, diamonds, these are going to be energy enhancers. They're very clear. They help bring in and focus in the energy. It's kind of like a magnifying glass, if you will. So if you take it under the sun, it's going to intensify whatever that energy is. And yeah, Jasper is another quite common one that you'll come across. I've got some Kumbaba Jasper, and I can't remember the name of this one off the top of my head, but they're also, again, very nice and easy to come by. And fluorite. Fluorites are also very common. This is a very cleansing crystal. This one's a rainbow fluorite, and these come in a whole host of colors that also lend themselves to all sorts of different properties depending on the color and kind of what your intention for them is. That being said, a lot of the energy work that comes with crystals also comes to your intention behind whatever crystal it is you're working with. So if it's not in harmony with whatever the crystal is used for, it's probably going to feel really awkward, or like you just don't want to do it anymore, or it's just not going to work. So Googling things really helps you kind of be in harmony with your crystals. Yeah, I think that about covers my crystal practice and how I do things. Part of the fun is just experimenting and trying different things, seeing what resonates, what doesn't. Yeah, iolite's not my thing at all. Citrine, rutilated quartz, this is another quite popular one. So yeah, I think that's all I've got. Please do let me know if you guys have further questions about comments. I'm happy to make a second video, kind of go into specific things in a little bit more depth, or share some of my stories with working with crystals. I've got a lot of dream stories and astral realm stories from just wearing different crystals at night, and it's so fascinating and so fun, and I really love experimenting and seeing what works. So yeah, with that, thank you guys for being here, and I will catch you later.